Hello, this is Brian with Zimco Survival, and I'm doing an update video. Now I'm actually holding the camera today because I'm doing an update on my Snugpak All Weather Shelter. Now, it's been really rainy, there you go. So I haven't been able to do a lot as far as getting out and doing reviews and stuff, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it in my backyard. So I set it up, I got my poles here, got them strapped down to the ground, and I'm just going to do an update video, a 2-year update video on the Tarp shelter, how it's held up, how things have gone, and whether I still think it's worth buying or not. So, start off with the first thing, and that is I replaced the pegs that go into the shelter. Because this is what it comes with. Just these cheap aluminum pegs, stakes. So I replaced them because, in all honesty, they are garbage. And instead, I went and picked up some aluminum X stakes, or Y stakes, or whatever kind you want. X or Y, doesn't matter. Same basic principle. As a replacement, because they don't weigh much more and they are a lot more durable than these little cheap things here. Number two, I added a Ridgeline to the kit, because all they give you is 4 guidelines, and I do set up shelters pretty much like this using trekking poles. So I need guidelines to hold the trekking pole straight and guidelines for the tarp and everything else. So the 4 was not enough, and I needed to add another 4 or 5 to it. So that's what I went ahead and did. So I have my Ridgeline here, a 25-foot Ridgeline, and then I have 4 10-foot guidelines that come out of each corner, and then to actually hold up these pieces of wood, I have the lines that actually come with the shelter itself. Now these have held up really well. I haven't actually had a problem, and these little tensioners, I never use them. I just use slip knots. But as far as the actual rope that comes with it, it's done really well. As you can see here, this is the end. I have not redone this, so you know, it hasn't frayed or done any of that over the course of time that I've had it. Now let's take a look at the actual shelter itself. So let me give you guys a nice view here. So as you can see, there it is. It is a 10-foot by 10-foot square, and right here each corner has 2 fastener points. You have this loop right there on the corner, and you have a nice reinforced eyelet. And down the line here, you have another loop, another loop, another loop, and an eyelet. So each side has a total, if you count the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each side has a total of 4 loops in all 4 directions. Like there, you got one there, you got one there, and you got one there. So all of them have the same number of tie-out points on all sides. And then in the center of the tarp, running at an angle up the side of the tarp, you have more loops. Now this is mainly for putting your Ridgeline through this loop here and there, and then there's another one on the other side. And what that does is it just helps to keep the center from sagging when things are, you know, from blowing around and moving. But I don't use that very much unless I'm using my hammock, and I tend to use the hammock more so when I'm on uneven ground. I kind of prefer to sleep on the ground, but that's just me. I'm a little weird like that. I use a tarp, but I don't always use the hammock. So there's the other side, and there's that other angled line, you know, angled support there that you see. Now there's the seams. All the seams, as I told you in my original review, are all doubled up, so they're double stitched, which makes them really good. Even the seams along the outside here. Now over the course of these last couple of years, I have not had any of these seams fray or start to come undone. And right here you can see the taping. Again, I haven't had any of them come undone. I haven't had any leaking on the inside of the tarp itself. Now I know you guys are gonna be able to see it because I'm actually in the sun this time versus my other one. My original review but this is not going to keep out the light. It is a thin material, so you know, expect to wake up in the morning when the sun comes up. This isn't going to block out the light at all. Makes a good sun shelter, but that's about it. But there you have it. So far, I have been pretty impressed with the tarp's durability. Sitting on guidelines and stuff, it hasn't frayed. It hasn't shown any signs of fatigue. I haven't found any UV damage to it, which is one of the largest killers of tarps. And one of the primary reasons people have to replace them. But even in heavy winds and storms and stuff, this tarp has not ripped or loosened or been damaged in any real way, or in any way actually. I haven't found any damage to it at all. Now it has been packed away for a little while because it's winter here, it's cold, and I don't really feel like camping right now. So it's been packed away for a couple months, which is why it's got the wrinkles in it. But so far, when it comes to this shelter, I'm pretty happy with it. I've been thinking about picking up an Aqua Defender, I think it is, tarp, and testing that out, and maybe giving this one to my wife. I'm not entirely sure yet, but if so, I'll give that one a test too and do a review for you guys as well and let you know how they compare. But there you have it. After 2 years, there's nothing really bad to say about it. It's held up quite well. Nothing's torn, frayed, damaged, UV damaged, nothing like that. But there you go, the 2-year update on the, the Snugpak All Weather Shelter. But there you have it. There will be affiliate links in the description, so don't forget to take a look there. And if you remember, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Bye bye.